Good morning. Good morning, Healing Collective. Just want to make sure I am actually live. Why isn't it showing up? I don't know. Oh wait, that's wrong. That's not right. Why does that keep showing up? Oh, we're gonna delete it. Haha. Delete comment. Will it let me delete it? That is the question. Okay. Man, Facebook's not making it easy to be live anymore. Good morning. Who's here? Say hello. There it is. Okay. Yeah, that's super annoying. I don't know why that's doing that. I'm going to delete that comment. Delete, delete. There we are. Who is here? Please say hello. We are... Okay. All right. I'm just looking at my computer. I haven't done a live in ages. I don't do a lot of lives anymore because Facebook, they delete them after 30 days. And the algorithm is really wonky right now with groups. And so unless your group is super active and people are commenting, it doesn't even get pushed out for you to see that I'm live. So if you are here now, I see 2 people. Don't be a lurker. I want you to say hi. Hi, Jillian. Hi, Sandy. Hi. Hello. Okay, so I have been asking you some questions. Oh, first of all, I changed the name of the Facebook group. Did you notice? So it was the Healers Collective, and I like it. And that was my podcast name, and that was like what I was putting out. And I decided that I wanted to change it to the Healing Collective because I don't just work with healers. I work with anybody who wants to work on their body. So I felt like it was more inclusive of what I'm building, which is empowered women. I work with women, I don't work with dudes. Empowered women working on their energetics so that they can feel amazing, so that they can go out into the world and be awesome, knowing and trusting that their body is fully supporting them. That is my jam. And so I changed the name of the group. It was just a little tweak, so you may not have seen it. And then I have been putting, I had a couple posts about like, you know, how are you, like what's, if I had a magic wand, what would you shift in your body? And I had some good responses. And then I also had another post just from a couple days ago about, you know, which one do you want to work on, A, B, C, D, that kind of thing. And I got a bunch of different answers, although sleep seemed to be the one that people, struggle with a lot. And here's the thing. I could come in here and I could channel for you and, you know, tell you what I'm seeing. I could do that. I'm actually doing that in my email community. So if you are not on my email list, if you're not in the email community, reach out and we can get you signed up. I can sign you up, or I can give you a link or whatever. I am doing 2 things that are different in my email community right now. I'm constantly shifting and changing because I'm reading the energy. I don't just do something just to mark it off my list. I want it to be the most impactful. So what feels most impactful and empowering right now is I'm doing a weekly energy reading that I'm literally just putting in my email community. So it goes out on Mondays. I'm telling you everything that I'm seeing. I call them body forecasts. And it's everything that I'm seeing as it relates to the body, to health, to healing for the week. I look at the universal energies. I ask my guides what I need to be sharing. And it goes out on Mondays. Okay, so if you want that, make sure you're on the email list. But wait, there's more. On Thursdays, I am giving you the opportunity to ask a channel, like a question about your, like just in general, or something that's going on with you specifically. And then I'm choosing which question to answer, and I answer that in an email on Thursdays. So yesterday was the first one. It went out. It was a great question. It was a great answer. And so if you want to get in on that action, let me know. I want you in the email community. Here's the thing. as a business owner, I'm looking at ways off of social media that I can be connected just in case, because as we know, platforms shift and change, and you can lose your whole audience. You get locked out of a social media platform, and then I want to be able to have my own ownership. Okay, so get on my email list. I email twice a week. That's it. And I don't feel like I'm spammy. Hopefully I'm not spammy. I'm here to empower you. That is what I'm here for. I want to empower you, and I do that through my healing. So back to what I was going to talk about is I could come in here and just channel for everybody, but I feel, and my guides are telling me, so I'm listening to my guides, that wouldn't be of service. So what I want to do today is I want to talk to you about how we might even do a little bit of a connection. But here's the thing. On my website, I have a ton of different digital offers, and they're powerful and they're really affordable. So if you've got something specific that you are looking at healing within your body, chances are I've got something on my website. And if not, I might be able to create one. Okay. So that's the first thing. But what I want to talk about is when we have something physically going on in our body. And some of this you might know already, but sometimes we forget, especially when we have a symptom in our body. Sometimes us healers and us psychics and even just like us spiritual people, we just I don't know, I have this horrible headache and I'm just going to go take an Advil. And do that if you want. I am not here to tell you what to do with your body. Do what you want, okay? I don't care. But I would do you a disservice if I didn't share with you another way to look at it. So, because I see a lot of healers talking about all their doctor's appointments, and that's not a judgment. I'm just wondering if you don't believe in your own healing work. And if you say that energy heals, but then the first time you get sick, you run to the doctor. Again, doctors aren't bad or wrong. They're not good or bad. But are you practicing what you preach? Anyway, I don't want to ruffle any feathers, I guess, but I do see that a lot. And it makes me wonder, if your belief in your own work is super solid. And anyway, but again, sometimes we need doctors and a lot of times we don't. So I digress. Little rant. When you've got something physically going on in your body, okay, so your body's been talking to you for a long time, okay? And, we're human, we're in this world, we're in this real world, and we're busy, and we ignore it. Like the headache, or you don't sleep well, or you got an ache in your back, or, you've got a cough, somebody had a cough, and your body, or your sleep is disrupted, and that's your body trying to give you information. The problem, I guess, in my view, is that we tend to isolate symptoms and say, I have a headache, therefore I need to take something to get rid of this headache, or to get rid of these hot flashes, or to get rid of this cough, instead of putting on our detective hat and our curiosity hat, not with judgment, but with, I wonder what else is going on, because the cough is a symptom. The lack of sleep is a symptom. The hot flash is a symptom. That's not the cause. That's not the root cause. You'll see a lot of people focusing just on the physical, because I see this a lot. We'll just take this supplement, or just eat this food, or just eat this way, or take this herb, or do this vibration plate, or do this sauna, do the red light mask therapy and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that stuff's not awesome. I do all of that stuff. I love all that stuff. I love to cook. I love my sauna. I love my vibration plate. I move my body. I do lymphatic stuff. I do the fascia blasting. I do all that stuff. I do the skincare. I do it all. That's great. But we are more than physical beings. We are energetic. We are energy. Everything is energy. Everything has a vibration and a frequency. And if you have a health issue, that means there's a misalignment within your energetics. Does that make sense? If everything is energy and your energy's down here because you've got a cough, or you've got a cold, or you've got diabetes, someone has diabetes or a frozen shoulder or hormone issues, your energy is down here. The health that you desire, which is free of all of those symptoms, is up here. It's not bad or wrong. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. You're not, there's no judgment here. It's energy. You're not aligned. You're not plugged in to the energy that you desire. So we want to know, at least I do, what is going on? What do we need to understand that is keeping, Sally Ann from being up here where she wants to be? Because I don't think anybody wants to feel like crap. Now, we might be addicted to our story because we're getting a payoff. When I'm sick, I don't have to go to work and I hate my job. I mean, we do this all the time, but you see it all the time, or whatever. That's a whole rabbit hole we could get down, but we're not going to today. So it's energy. That's how I view it. That's how I see it when I look at the body, because I'm a medical intuitive. So parts of the body light up for me. And it's not always what we think either. Sometimes it is where it ain't. Like sometimes people will say they've got, something going on here, and I see something going on here. So as a medical intuitive and a psychic, I'm able to see like physically what's going on with the body. Which way is the energy? Because everybody has an energy flow in their body. Everyone also, like each organ has its own energy and frequency and vibration. It gets real complex real quick. And I'm not a doctor. Excuse me. That's burp. I'm not a doctor, but I have trained, because I started my whole career, I guess, in massage therapy. So I studied anatomy and physiology. So I know a fair bit about the body, but I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. I work with energy. Everything's energy. Okay. So it's not just like I have a cough, so that just, it means this, and I have to take this, and da, da, da. It's, okay, cool, you have a cough, that's your symptom. So that's the physical representation of something going on in the body. I want to understand more. We want to go deeper, right? So then we can look at all the physical stuff. We can begin to take a step back and look at like, okay, we can connect with our body. This is one of the reasons why I scream from the rooftops that it's important to connect with your body every single day. And it's as simple as making the time. I've got a couple of videos going on right now based on a question I had about, well, how do you even do that? And it's a 4-part, the last one's coming in today. And I did a program on this, actually. It's a digital offer called Connect. Go check it out. It's on my website. So, and I walk you through it, and we do exercises to connect with the body. But part of it is scheduling it. Like if you are not connecting with your body, and you can't even hear your body, and you're like, I have no idea, because we're up in the head, we've got the monkey minds going on. You're going to want to schedule, write it down, put it in your phone, 5 minutes to just sit. No music. No scrolling, just sit and be with your body and notice your heartbeat and notice your muscles and really kind of feel into your body. And then once you do that, you can begin saying, body, 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 what's going on with your lungs? What is going on with your sleep? What do you need in order to sleep better? Like we can ask questions from a curious, non-judgy place, right? We want to make sure that our human is not involved with this answer, because your human is going to say, well, you stay up all night and blah, 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 and you suck and all that stuff. Our human can be a total mean girl, and we don't want that, right? We don't want that. Oop, sorry, somebody was messaging. So getting into that space of real connection with the body. And then you can go deeper. So you're like, okay, and I do this. Seriously, I do this all the time. I will sit with my body. I usually will sit at my desk and I will talk to myself out loud. And I'll be like, okay, body, what do you need today in order to XYZ? Whatever it is for you, insert here. What do you need to balance your hormones? What do you need to help your diabetes? What do you need to get better sleep? What do you need to, have sharper, less brain fog, whatever. And then you listen. You listen with your ears, you listen with your psychic senses. Some people see, you might see something, you might get a knowing. But again, this is where we have to get out of our human. So if your mind is super busy, you're going to want to brain dump. I don't know why I do this, but brain dump, physically write everything that's in your head, or voice note it, just everything that's in your head, get it out of your head so that you can be fully present, okay? The other thing you can also do, and I do this even to this day, because the human can have a huge influence. And anytime you are doing any kind of psychic work or intuitive work even, your human can block your channels of getting clear information. So most people are giving like psychic guidance and healing guidance through their own filters. So you want to make sure that your filters are super clear. Because what works for me might not work for you. And what the root cause of my headache is probably different than yours. This is why I don't love the books out there that say, if you have a headache, this is what it means. I mean, maybe, and it might be a good place to start, but you're going to do yourself a disservice if you don't actually ask the body that's experiencing it, right? I just think that we give our power away to other people, other people, like they know more than I do about my own body. I mean, they might if you're not connected, but I want you to be super connected to your own body and listening to your own body. Am I making sense? I hope so. So you want to ask your body what it needs. And you want to make sure, so if you're hearing, like if you have not been connecting with your body and you're like, okay, I'm going to connect with my body. I'm going to get some answers. Yes. And you sit down and you're just connecting and you hear like full paragraphs, like you need to do this and this and this and this. That's your mind. That's your mind. You're going to get, if you've not been listening to your body, your answers are going to be short and sweet. It might be something like rest, water, walk. It's going to be short and sweet. So many people are not even doing the basics. The basics, whole foods, nourishment, getting enough sleep, breathing, working on their stress. Yeah, those are the big ones. I'm like, what else am I missing? The basics. So if I were you and I was having some issues, I would write down all those things. Like, how is my nutrition? And I'm not saying it's got to be perfect, because no. But how am I eating? You know how you're eating. You know if you're going to get fast food 5 days a week. You know that, okay? And if you've ever watched me, you know I don't really demonize food. However, food does have a vibration and a frequency. So if you're eating way more processed foods than home-cooked whole foods, there is a difference in your vibration, and it absolutely will affect your physical body. Okay. But it gets, this is where it's like a really big thing, because it's not just like, well, eat better. Yeah, but there might be a underlying reason, I have a tickle in my throat, that you're not, putting your nourishment needs above just eating fast food. So this is where we get into like, what beliefs are we holding about ourselves? What do we really think about ourselves? What do we feel about ourselves? Hold on. Woo, I'm clearing. And and what emotions are we holding in our body, because everything is energy and your energy gets clogged. When your energy gets clogged, we need to know why. Why is my energy clogged? What beliefs am I holding here that I need to understand? It's not just about doing a healing and just releasing them. I'm just gonna release them for you, because if you don't understand why they're there, you're gonna say that was an amazing healing, and you're gonna go off into your world, and you haven't changed anything because you haven't become self-responsible for your energetics, and it's just gonna come right back. No. Okay. And several years ago, probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was doing healing modalities, and I'm not naming names, and I'm not saying anything except that they weren't empowering me like I want to be empowered. And just going bippity boppity boo, it wasn't getting the results with myself, but also with my clients that I want. And that's why I don't do any healing modalities now except my own, because I know that my work goes deep, deep, deep to the root, because we could be healing everything under the sun. And that's fine. You will always find something to heal if you're looking for it. That's not the point of a healing journey, in my opinion. My opinion is, if you come to me and you've got irritable bowel or Hashimoto's, I'm looking at everything in relation to that. Now, it might not look like what you think it's going to look like, because I see huge connections within the body depending on the person, because we're all unique. But you might come to me with like a thyroid thing, and I'm immediately drawn to your liver. I'm trusting my connection, and we're going to look at your liver first, because that's where I'm drawn. But I'm not looking at your big toe. Like, we're not healing your knee unless it's related to the Hashimoto. So you can always find something to heal. But I want to get to the root cause of what's going on that is causing that. Now, for me, I work on the physical body. So I will be, doing my energetic work behind the scenes on the actual organs and getting the energetics. But then when we get together, when I work with clients, one-on-one, or even in my Align program, which is amazing, by the way, and you should totally be in it. It's a group healing program. It's 12 months. It's amazing. We look at what beliefs you're holding and what your chakras are doing, because each of your energy, you already know this, but I'm just telling you again, each of your chakras governs different parts of the body. Now, that's not the be all end all, because we want to know why, what is going on? What is the root cause? Spoiler alert, it is usually something that you're holding on to, usually from childhood or a past life. But if you dealt with it in a past life and it was unresolved, chances are you brought it into this one and you're still working with it. So we don't even necessarily have to look at past lives, but the spiritual community loves to look at past lives. And that's fine, and sometimes it's needed. Oftentimes it is not. It just depends, right? I don't do cookie cutter. Everybody's different. I follow the energy. Where do we need to go? Cool. We're going into the shadow. Cool. What are we looking at here? Oh, okay. So you've got da, 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 da. And that's how I work, because healing is not a cookie cutter. Everybody's different. And your root cause for your Hashimoto's or your diabetes is different from, good morning, Melissa, is different from, hers or hers. Okay. And that's why I don't like the books, because they just say, this is what it means. Not necessarily. Anyway. So we look at, and I also like to look at beliefs around, do you even think you can heal? Because here's the thing, people will say it, I hear it all the time, is I believe I can heal. Absolutely. And maybe there's a part of you that does, like you want to believe, but if you truly believed that you could, then you would already have done it to a certain extent. And or if you haven't gotten there yet, you either haven't gotten to the root or you aren't digging deep enough. So some people have some success, but then it comes back and you say, well, it came back. Well, you didn't get to the root. So I like to work efficiently because I know people that have the same issue year after year after year. And sometimes that's me. Like if I don't want to do the work, sometimes I don't want to do the work and I just go, oh, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. So it's not about being perfect, and it's not like you're a bad person if you're not healing. No. But 2026 universal energies are not asking, demanding that you work on your physical vessel, because if you don't, you might find your health getting down in the toilet. Okay. And I don't want that for you. I want you to feel good, because I know that if you're here and you're watching this, you care about your health. You want to feel good in your body. And unfortunately, social media is so full of everybody who has the answer, and it becomes frustrating. It's like, I don't know who to believe. I don't know how I'm supposed to eat. I don't know what vitamins I'm supposed to take. Oh my God, forget it. I'm going to McDonald's, right? Am I right? Because it gets really frustrating. I mean, even I'm like, oh my God, now I have to do what? Like, no. And that's why, again, coming back to that connection with your body. It's not very sexy. It's not. When I say connect to your body, you're like, yeah. But I promise you, like doing those foundational things and sitting with your body. And I don't sit with my body for 2 hours at a time. I'd be asleep. And sometimes I do that and I am asleep and I'm like, oh, I was tired. I needed a little rest. Cool. Thank you. But it's like 5 minutes. And I don't time it anymore because I just check in every morning. Body, what do you need? What do you need today? I will tell you what my body said. You want to hear what my body said today? I'll tell you. Thank you for asking. I'm going to get my sheet here. This morning, my body said to me, and I've been doing this a while. So it said creation. And I'm like, what do you mean? So when I get an answer and if I don't know what it means, I say, what do you mean? Make something with your hands. So my body wanted, and so when I look at that energy, my body doesn't want me to be scrolling on social media because it's like such a brain rot, right? My body wants me to do something creative with my hands. That activates my energy. When I'm dancing and I'm singing and I'm cooking, my soul is happy. My soul is happy. My body is happy, right? The other thing my body wanted me to do today is to do some deep acceptance and deep appreciation, because I'm human and I have my moments where I'm like, ugh. We all do. It's fine. It's not about being perfect, but it is about, and you might have heard me say this before. Sorry, there's a siren outside. Ew. I hear sirens all day. My guides told me years ago that for me, but it's something that I feel, I share this a lot because I feel like everybody needs this, is being radically mindful. Everybody's heard the term radical responsibility, and it's like, yeah. Sometimes we hear these terms and we're like, yeah, but we don't actually stop and embody them. But radical mindfulness is being able to catch yourself in the moment when you're having a thought that is not very love and light and kind, okay? We can thank you, and then we can understand it, like why am I hearing this? What's going on? What do I need to understand? And then we can choose whether or not we want to continue to think that thought. The only thing you're in control of in your life is what you think, what you say, how you feel. Yes, you can control how you feel. And what you do. Those are the only things you can't control, what anybody else is doing on the planet. So, the planet is a bit of a dumpster fire right now. And the best thing that you can do is not scroll social media talking about how much you hate America or hate this or hate that. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. You're just contributing to that energy. Everything is energy, y'all. You can work on yourself because, and that's not to put your head in the sand about what's going on in the universe, and I'll explain why in just a moment if you're not sure. When we work on ourselves and we work on our energetics and we are coming back to center, coming back to our connection, the people around you will feel that. It has a ripple effect. I want you to see my hands. And then what they do with that is their responsibility. But what I find is that when we're taking really good care of ourselves and we're making ourselves happy and we're putting ourselves as a priority, it gives people permission to do the same. And then they do it, and then they do it, and then they do it, and boom, boom, boom. And that's when I say be the change. That is a beautiful act of service on this planet. Now, if you have a cause that you are just so passionate about, go and do and support. But I promise you, the social media is like, we are inundated with fear, with what's going on in the world, like everything that's going wrong in the world. I mean, negativity is catching. And if you find yourself in that space, I'm not telling you how to feel how you feel, but don't live there. Don't live there. I would say, how can I help this? Am I meant to like help this situation out in the world? Am I meant to do anything about this? Is it in alignment for my soul to do something about this or this or this? Because you can't possibly do it all. And chances are it's not making you feel so hot. Okay. So there is a certain, when people say they're empathic, there's things you can do, like focusing on yourself, right? And it's not about building up like walls, but like working on your boundaries so that you're not so affected by other people's energy. We want your energetics to be so strong that when you walk in the room, you're not getting sucked down by everybody else's energy. Everybody else in the room is getting brought up to your level because you're powerful. Does that make sense? I hear a lot of people saying, I can't go here, I can't go there, because it's just so heavy. But what if you went into that room and you lifted the energy in that room? We are getting off topic, but here we are. That is the level of energetics that I endeavor and intend to always work with. I want to be the brightest light that I can be. Right? So knowing that everybody has their free will. If someone wants to be grumpy, that's fine. Not my monkey, not my circus. All right. How is this hitting? How's this landing? Does anyone have any questions? Because I've been on here for a while. I have. I'm just looking to see. Good morning, sunshine. Good morning, Melissa. How are you? Can you read that? Is it backwards? It says it is what it is, and it's feral as fuck. I had this made with, I think it was Vistaprint, because I also have, right on, all right. I have this right here. I don't know if you can see it. Where is my hand? There it is. I was like, where's my hand? My husband and I went to, I think it was in October. We went to this, like, spiritual crystal show thing here in town, and there was a cat rescue, and they go to like thrift stores and buy plates and things, and then they like paint them, and it says feral queen, and I just think that's hysterical because it's a cat rescue and a lot of cats are feral that they help. So I love it. So I had to make a cup. Actually, I had made the cup before. I have a t-shirt as well. So all right, Melissa says right on. Cool. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for the reminder about social media trying to fix me. Yeah, I mean, social media is a beautiful thing until it's 4 hours later and you're like, And everybody, here's the thing. We are all unique. So if something is working for somebody, that's not to say it's right or wrong. There can be several truths, all right? But is it my truth? Is it my truth? And I've gotten sucked in and bought supplements and shit on TikTok, and I'm like, why did I buy this? So again, it's not about being perfect, but it's about being radically mindful. And if you start to feel like you've got brain rot, go for a walk. Please go for a walk. Make something, do something else, create something, or simply stop and be like, show me what else I could be doing right now. And you might get guidance from your body, you might get guidance from your soul, your guides, however you receive information, that intuitive part of your body. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that here. And if anyone has any questions about anything that I've said, you are welcome, Jillian. Thanks for sticking around for my TED Talk. This should be a podcast. Maybe I'll see if I can download it. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and a wonderful weekend. And if you are in the area that's getting all the snow and ice, may you stay warm and fed. And I will see you later. Have a great day, everybody.